Cheikh Hamidou Kane was a Senegalese writer and thinker known for his profound contributions to African literature and philosophical thought. Born in 1928 in Matam, Senegal, Kane grew up in a society at the crossroads of traditional Islamic beliefs and the growing influence of Western culture, particularly French colonialism. After completing his early education in Senegal, he pursued higher studies in France, where he studied law, philosophy, and public administration at the Sorbonne and the École Nationale de la France d'Outre-mer. His experiences as both a devout Muslim and a Western-educated intellectual shaped his worldview, allowing him to explore the complexities of cultural duality and identity in his literary work. His most celebrated work, Ambiguous Adventure, published in 1961, is a novel that delves into these themes with a strikingly poetic and philosophical narrative style. Ambiguous Adventure tells the story of Samba Diallo, a young man from the Diallo-Bay aristocratic family in Senegal, who is caught between the traditional Islamic values of his upbringing and the secular Western education he receives. Samba Diallo's journey begins in his homeland, where he is rigorously trained in the Quran and African traditions under the guidance of a spiritual leader called the Teacher. His family, particularly his deeply religious father, sees this education as essential to his identity and spiritual well-being. However, the community leader, the chief of the Diallo-Bay, believes that understanding the Western world's advancements is equally crucial for the survival and prosperity of their people under colonial rule. As a result, Samba Diallo is sent to France for a European-style education, initiating an inner conflict between his faith and the rationalist philosophies of the West. Throughout Ambiguous Adventure, Kane vividly explores the disorientation and emotional turmoil that come from attempting to reconcile two distinct cultural identities. As Samba Diallo becomes more immersed in Western philosophical thought, he grows increasingly distant from his spiritual roots. This clash becomes more than a personal dilemma. It symbolizes the broader struggle of African societies during the colonial period, as they sought to balance traditional ways with the pressures to modernize along Western lines. The novel questions whether it is possible to maintain one's cultural heritage and spiritual beliefs while embracing foreign ideas that, in many ways, seem fundamentally opposed to them. Kane also critiques colonialism's impact on African identity and spiritual life in Ambiguous Adventure. He addresses how Western education, with its focus on reason and material progress, often undermines indigenous values and religious beliefs. This process of colonization, according to Kane, threatens to strip African societies of their unique worldviews and ways of knowing. Yet, Kane refrains from outright condemning Western thought. Instead, he portrays it as something that can offer both insights and dangers. His exploration is nuanced, acknowledging the contributions of Western education, while also recognizing the profound loss that can accompany cultural assimilation. The legacy of Ambiguous Adventure lies in its universal themes of identity, belonging, and the struggle for meaning in a changing world. Through the story of Samba Diallo, Kane raises timeless questions about the nature of knowledge, the clash of civilizations, and the importance of remaining true to one's roots. His work remains relevant not only for readers in post-colonial societies, but for anyone who has experienced the challenges of navigating multiple cultural identities. By blending poetic language with philosophical depth, Ambiguous Adventure invites readers to reflect on the complexities of cultural identity and the potential for harmony or discord between different worldviews.